Group 1 racing at the Meadows this Saturday night for the 2018 Aged Restricted Maturity Classic. This race began back in 1970. It was worth $1,250, as I'm now joined by George Ferrugia, Meadows Media Officer. Wow, $100,000 to the winner on Saturday night.
Yeah, James, terrific race. The Maturity's been a race steeped in history, and some of the champions of the sport have won this, including Tem Lee, Barcia Bale, Fernando Bale, and last year's fantastic winner, Mapunga Blazer, who we've seen set the track alight in his last couple of starts. Looking forward to this. I think Saturday night's race is an absolute cracker. What do you think, James?
I think it is. It's funny because this race, 44% of winners of the Maturity Classic have jumped as the favourite. Now, I think that comes back to the quality that we see throughout this series. It almost seems an automatic pass to stud with the likes of Barcia Bale, Fernando Bale and co. It's just such a good race steeped in history.
Yeah, it is. An age-restricted classic and obviously held at Olympic Park. And, geez, we've seen some champions there win it. But like you said, it seems a real good path to stud glory. And we have had some real good ones, including Brett Lee, of course, probably the granddaddy of them all, winning the early 2000s.
Well, let's get straight into Saturday night's Group 1 Maturity Classic field. We'll start with box number 1 in the box draw. It's Dinah Paddy drawn in 1, a little bit of a lack of speed in 2 and 3. Box 4, Baruga Brett. Cavatron's drawn 5, Orson Allen box number 6, Chiefs Empire out in 7, and Fashona Thompson, Aston Duke out in box 8. Now, I just want to quickly make a note of the reserves. High quality, Myra Deemer and Jackie Shoshone. So there we have it, the box draw for the Maturity Classic. And George, there's speed, there's strength, there's just outright class. It looks a ripping field.
Yeah, it does. And I reckon the box draw has made this really, really interesting. We've got the pre-race favourite, I suppose, in Dinah Paddy off box 1. But all the speed, James, seems to be out in 6, 7 and 8. And I think this is going to be an interesting run to the first quarter.
And Dinah Paddy, well, we just don't know whether or not she's better off out wide or better near the inside. I seem to think she'll go better from a wide draw. But let's go through these in semi-final order. We'll start with the first semi-final of the Maturity Classic. It was a great clash between Dinah Paddy and Wise PK, who chased through the field to run second. And coincidentally, they've drawn the same in the final on Saturday night.
They have. She did enough early to run 5.11 to that first mark, and then she puts the afterburners on. She's got a terrific record at the Meadows. She's run 29.80 in her semi, 29.75 in the heat too. So she has been in ripping form. Of course, she started favourite in the Sapphire Crown, didn't she? And just didn't begin as well in that final. So I just think a Group 1's knocking on the door for her, isn't it? I'm not sure if it's this Saturday, but one's coming.
We saw her win the Speed Star as well, which shows she's as fast as any dog in the race. So drawn box number 1, if she holds her spot, I think I would have been concerned if she had the red and there was a lot of speed in 2 and 3, but the fact we've got Trit, Wise, PK, they're both going to be slow early. She's just going to get enough room, I think, to drive through at the start as we roll along to the second of the semi-finals. That was race number 7. That was won by Baruga Brett. Now, here's a greyhound for the Ennis Kennel who just seems to be improving every run. He's jumping a little bit better, lobbing closer. And the one thing I like, I caught this greyhound at Sandown recently, George, and he just took a needle-eye gap, burst through the gap, and he's got a very quick accelerating speed when he lets go.
I think he was very brave in his semi-final win. It was a really good battle between him, Aston Duke and Black Forge. They were going hammer and tong down the back. And Baruga Brett is a much improved greyhound, isn't he, in his last couple of starts. He started his career really, really well, winning in fast time in a Vic Breeders' heat at Geelong. He went through a bit of a lull. I think we're seeing the real Baruga Brett now. Well,
he showed speed in that 400-metre Vic Breeder heat. I think he went 22.40 or thereabouts at Geelong, and he obviously has got that early speed. It's just a matter of showing it. He's drawn awkwardly in the final. Moving along now to the third of the semi-finals, and that was won by Orson Allen. Now, I like to say Orson Allen can be very awesome. 5 flat to the first mark. I must say it was a little bit of a surprise.
Well, he and Chiefs Empire going 5 flat to the first mark. This was a real speed semi-final, wasn't it? But Orson Allen held the inside, ran 29.86, which is only 0.05 outside his PB, which he did on debut, which you were
I was calling, and he went similar to the first mark. He might well have even gone right on 5 as well. So he can show that, but he also can bomb the start.
Yeah, and he's got an interesting career. He's had 15 starts. He's won 9 of them, never run second or third. So when he gets into a little bit of trouble, he can finish down the pack. But when he gets it right, wow, he's an impressive type.
Yeah, he is. And the runner-up there, I think a real genuine chance as well. Chiefs Empire's got really good early speed, was desperately unlucky in Sydney in that recent Group 1 final. So sort of proven at the class level.
Absolutely. Comes from a great litter out of Fernando Bale. Chiefs Empire, his whole litter have done really, really well, and he's got enough speed to really put himself in contention here.
One of, I think, 3 in the race who have got really good fast early speed around that 5 mark early. Final at the semi-finals, there were 4 of them last Saturday Saturday night. It was Trit Trit. And if you weren't a greyhound enthusiast and you just sat down at the local tab.com.au setup, you would have just thought, wow, what a run this. It was last to first. It was exciting to see, and he just mowed them down.
Well, I think the owners their heart would have dropped after seeing him bomb the start, really. Only go 5.42 to the mark. Now, he's never a fast greyhound early, but he certainly can improve on that early run, and his run home times are outstanding. And of course, being a son out of my bro Fabio, I think Brooke and Jamie Ennis will certainly be cheering him home on Saturday.
Well, he's drawn okay there in 2. If he can follow Dinah Paddy, I think he's a chance. Cavatron, the other who qualified from that semi-final. Let's get straight into selections now, George, for the Group 1 Maturity Classic. How do you see the race panning out?
Look, it's really hard to go past Dinah Paddy. I know that there are some question marks on where she's going to sit on that first corner. She can be a little bit hit or miss, but I think the fact that there's probably not much right drawn near her that is going to cause her trouble. She's going to get into a good position. Really, really hard to go against her. On top of number 6, Orson Allen, the young gun of the field, 9 wins out of 15, as we said. He's got the early speed to lead all the way. I don't think that would surprise anyone. His mother, Dasali Bale, had so much speed too. Just got pipped in a Top Gun. So the pedigree suggests that the form's there to win a Group 1 race. Number 2, Trit Trit. I think he's going to get the sit in this race. He's a very strong greyhound. He can break 30 at the Meadows. We've seen that before. And I just like where Aston Duke is drawn off box 8. I think he's been a professional greyhound. He's made about 5 group races this one and ran second in a Maitland Cup. So I think he's in with a sneaky chance, that's for sure.
Yeah, you got the runs on the board, and I really like that Bendigo form coming through as well into the Cup here, or the Maturity rather. Look, I've gone 1, 6, 2 and 7 as my numbers on the 2018 Group 1 Maturity. Similar to you, George, I just think Dinah Paddy's going to get the room to accelerate, and she doesn't have to whip over the field. She just has to hold her place, and if she can do that, she can lead through the first corner. I think she'll take home the Group 1 Maturity. The second, I've gone with the 6, Orson Allen. I think it'll either be a hit or miss, so I'm not sure that he'll actually run second, but I think he's the obvious danger to Dinah Paddy. The third, I've gone with 2, Trit Trit. I think either he or Wise PK are going to get the gun run right behind the leading pack when they go through that first corner, and I've thrown the 7 for 4th. That is Chiefs Empire. Just thought if he can reel off that 5 flat early, he'll be right in this. I've gone 1, 6, 2 and 7 to the Maturity Classic. $20 spend now. How are we going to spend $20 on this race, George?
Wow, look, probably a trifecta, I reckon, just for a little bit of fun. My numbers are 1, 2, 6 and 8 for a box trifecta, and for those who like to take box quinellas, I suppose we can do the same thing there. I just think they're probably the ones that are going to give you the best opportunity going forward. Certainly Dinah Paddy in contention. Hopefully we get a little bit of value with some of the outside runners.
Look, I'm just going to keep it really simple. I'm just going to go $10 each way on Dinah Paddy. You've got the prices here, $2.60 with tab.com.au. I think that's enough. You go with about $1.40 a place. You're going to double your money if Dinah Paddy gets the job done, and I think that's a pretty good chance. Why should the punters get out to the Meadows Saturday night to enjoy the Maturity?
Look, Christmas in July, we've had some great nights there leading up to this, but this is the big one. Of course, always great kids' entertainment out there on a Saturday night.
You'll be part of that?
I'll be part of that. I won't be Santa, but Stanley will certainly be there. Can't wait for it. Fully booked upstairs. Great facilities downstairs for the kids to play. Really good activities as well. Get down to the Meadows. I know it'll be a little bit chilly, but we always brave the cold out there in winter.
Sounds like there's a lot going on at the Meadows Saturday night. The history books are open. The pens are primed. Who will it be to claim the 2018 Maturity Classic? Be at the Meadows Saturday to find out.